This is more of a human problem, and I'm going to show it to you. So an absolute classic psychological error in trading that I'm sure you've experienced, I know how I have in the past, is moving your stop loss to break even when it's not within your rules to do so. So let's say your strategy tells you to buy here for whatever reason. You get in long and the market starts moving nicely in your favor. So what do? You move your stop loss to break even if it doesn't stay in your rules, simply because we want to remove any potential risk on the table. And then, as you probably experienced plenty of times, the market will then come back to your level, stop you out for break even, and then goes on eventually to your profit target. Okay, so this is just one of many mistakes that traders are making that is not conducive to a long-term profitable edge. So if you break your rules by trailing your stop loss to break even too early, what's the reason? You're scared of taking a loss. And the subconscious reason of that is because you were trying to avoid the pain of losing money. Now, Tom Hugard did an amazing lecture on this where he breaks this down, right? And there's so many common mistakes that we as traders make, right? Taking low probability or even invalid trades. Why do we do that? It's because we get FOMO, right? We're scared of missing out on potential, profits. But what's the subconscious reason? It's the same thing. It's to avoid pain, right? The pain of potentially missing out on what could be ours. Another one, not executing another trade after you've taken a winning trade. A reason is usually because, I've made some money. I don't really want to give back any profit today. I'm happy with what I've got. But you're not executing your edge. And what's the reason? Again, to avoid pain, the pain of potentially giving away that profits. Taking profits too early, right? Not following your management plan. Similar thing, you want to keep on to what you have. Why? Avoid pain. Avoid pain of losing that perceived money of what you've got within your account. The other thing, increasing your position size after a loss. Why do you do that? Well, you want to get back to where you were, right? You don't want to go home with that loss. You want to get back to break even or make some gains. Why? You want to avoid pain. Now, I'm sure we've all been there, and I'm sure we'll make some of these mistakes in the future, but it's only afterwards, once you're out of the trade and you've made that mistake and you look back and you just think, what is wrong with me? Why am I an idiot? Why do I keep doing this? Why am I stuck in this perpetual cycle of making mistakes that's stopping me from getting to where I need to be? Okay, today I'm going to show you exactly why that's happening.